5G on my phone, 5G on this coat, like, oh yeah. Fiji on my stones, you can't even look too close, yeah. I can't break the news, I can't break it, I can't hold you. If you need a shoulder, you can cry on, I can hold you. Chrome marks on my shades and my...
Peanut butter. On a calm, breezy morning in Mexico City, the day's peace would be interrupted by the disturbed screams of a man tied to a pole. But you're probably wondering how he got here in the first place. Earlier that month, he had been accused of committing an unthinkable crime to a local woman in the city. Word of his actions spread quickly, angering friends, families, and other locals until a notorious Mexican gang caught wind of the story. For them, justice would not wait for courts and police. They tracked the man down, ripped him out from his house, and dragged him out into the open. They grabbed his hands and bound him tightly so that escape was impossible. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, the gang pulled out a tub of peanut butter and began to slather it on his... The man became confused, because while covering somebody in peanut butter is a pretty strange punishment, it's not necessarily painful. However, his confusion would quickly fall into dread when the men brought out two huge pit bulls. He immediately realized what they were trying to do and began pleading for mercy. However, his cries were drowned out by the growls of the snarling dogs. When the animals were unleashed, panic surged through the alleged criminal as he screamed for help. The punishment unfolded brutally. It was a slow spectacle of pain and humiliation. And sadly, his screams fell on deaf ears as locals pretended like nothing was happening. By the time the dogs were pulled back, the man was left broken in a way that couldn't be fixed. The point was made clear. The gang had delivered their brand of justice and sent an unforgettable message that'll live on in the heart of Mexico City for years. Vile acts against the vulnerable in this city will not be tolerated.
Hold on, nah. They said he, like, it was a rumor that he didn't even do nothing. Hold on. Nah. I dead missed that. Hold on.
And tied to a pole. But you're probably wondering how he got here in the first place. Earlier that month, he had been accused of committing an unthinkable crime to a local woman in the city.
Okay, like, this is shit I be talking about. This bitches, bro, like, accusations.
Word of his actions spread quickly, angering friends, families, and other locals until a notorious Mexican gang caught wind of the story. For them, justice would not wait for courts and police.
And then these niggas who have no business with the feds or nothing are stepping in like, oh my gosh. Bitches, nigga, I tell you, bitches. Gosh. Bitches and their allegations. He probably did this shit though because nobody cared. I mean, yeah, but like, at the same time, they said it was an allegation. Like, imagine nigga probably didn't do that shit. Nah, that Cartel is doing that shit, but still though.
Acts against the vulnerable in this city will not be tolerated.
Still though, bruh. Niggas gangsters.
49. On May 12th, 2012, a man in Cartel, Jimenez decided to step out of his home for a quick beverage. The evening was warm and calm. It was the kind of night where nothing out of the ordinary was really expected. A man in Cartel, Jimenez. 49.
49.
On May 12th, 2012, a man in Cartel, Jimenez decided to step out of his home for a quick beverage. The evening was warm and calm. It was the kind of night where nothing out of the ordinary was really expected. As the man walked along the highway, the dim lights cast long shadows across the road. Out of nowhere, the man would stumble across what sort of looked like a strange log just lying to the left of the pavement. He barely paid it any mind, stepping past it. Moments later, he saw another one, then another, with each log carrying a foul, nauseating stench that clung to the air. The smell was strong enough to stop the man from walking any further. Confused, he decided to inspect the objects. He crouched closer, squinting at the twisted shapes in the dark. What at first looked like a bunch of discarded stick bundles on the highway slowly revealed themselves as something far more horrifying than expected. The man recoiled in terror. They weren't logs. They were human bodies. 49 bodies scattered across the road. They were men and women, stripped of their dignity. Each of them were missing their heads, hands, and feet. The murder was so precise and brutal that it was nearly impossible to tell who they once were. Some of the people were stuffed into plastic bags, and others dumped carelessly onto the roadside. The man's breath quickened as his mind struggled to process the scale of what he was seeing. A sense of dread swept over him as he realized he had stumbled upon a... In that moment, the silence of the night felt oppressive. The road transformed into a grotesque stage of terror. Later, authorities would confirm what many feared. This was the work of Los Zetas, one of Mexico's most violent cartels.
I'm saying.
The bodies were left as a chilling message in an ongoing war for control of smuggling routes into the United States.
Wow.
By dawn, the site was swarmed with police and soldiers with their flashlights cutting through the dark as they documented the carnage. Officials were able to arrest...
Like, niggas took off their hands and feet and head off of 49 people, men and women. Did they say children too? Yo, like, what? These niggas, bro, I'm not going to Mexico. I ain't going. I'm not going to Mexico, my nigga. I'm not going to Mexico, bro. Hell nah. And I might have to think twice about fucking with Latina, bro. Fuck around, her dad be a cartel boss. Like, what the fuck? I'm saying, like, I'm saying Mexico trail. Just not deep Mexico, bro. I mean, they said Mexico in general.
The perpetrator of the tragedy, Daniel Jesus Elizondo Ramirez, more formally known as El Loco. This is just one of many atrocities that happen in Mexico because of wars like these.
Wow.
And if there's one thing that's true about these conflicts, it's that the innocents will always be the ones who have to pay. May their souls rest in peace.
Homeboy dad in the cartel, wow.
The Ghost Rider incident.
Ghost Rider.
The CJNG is one of the most powerful and dangerous cartels in Mexican history. The United Cartels is a coalition that was formed in opposition to their control. And on a sweltering afternoon deep in cartel territory, a notorious man known as the Ghost Rider, in allegiance with the United Cartels, would find himself in the grip of one of Mexico's most feared. And on a sweltering afternoon deep in cartel coalition that was powerful and dangerous the Ghost Rider incident. The CJNG is one of the most powerful and dangerous cartels in Mexican history. The United Cartels is a coalition that was formed in opposition to their control. And on a sweltering afternoon deep in cartel territory, a notorious man known as the Ghost Rider, in allegiance with the United Cartels, would find himself in the grip of one of Mexico's most feared criminal organizations. You see, Ghost Rider got his peculiar name from his horrific reputation. He was known for setting his victims ablaze and leaving them out in the open to be discovered. However, now that he was captured and surrounded by the CJNG, his fate became sealed long before cameras even started rolling.
Wow.
This cartel was not content with simply eliminating a rival. They wanted to carve a message into the eyes of each and every one of their enemies. And in their eyes, Ghost Rider's nickname provided the perfect stage for humiliation. The camera steadied on him as members of the cartel mocked the moniker he had carried. And then with a calm and chilling demeanor, they doused the nickname provided the perfect stage for humiliation. The camera steadied on...
Niggas said camera. These niggas recorded this? Oh, hell nah. These niggas are sponsoring Satan, bro. What the fuck?
On him as members of the cartel.
Oh, yeah, that's why he be having shit like that. But like, wow, my
and
nigga.
then with a calm and
I don't want to find these videos. I ain't gonna lie.
His face in
I don't want to find these
struck
videos.
A flame. What followed was a spectacle designed not just to eliminate, but to terrify. The man's face ignited in an instant. Flames began dancing across his skin, consuming the man's head until it became unrecognizable. Bound and helpless, his muffled cries pierced the silence as the cartel stood by, watching. The man could no longer see, and his head now resembled nothing but a skull. But horrifically enough, he was still screaming. This terrible sight, paired with his nickname that once gave him power in the criminal underworld, had been twisted into a cruel, barbaric joke. The man had literally become the Ghost Rider, just in a very wicked sense. The video of the savagery spread across the dark corners of the internet, where CJNG often showcased their brutality, and for those who stumbled upon the footage, the sight was unforgettable.
I don't think you died. Nigga, I'd want to, like, what? Niggas just burned his whole head off. Like, all he is a skeleton now. Like, the fact that his body has to be, I mean, his head just has to be a skeleton. Like, just had to be a skeleton at that point, bro. Like, nigga didn't even die. His head's just a skeleton. Missing a whole face. I know nigga was in, bro.
The man was transformed into a symbol of suffering and humiliation, and that symbol would unfortunately outlast his legacy. The bowl incident. Panic surged through the city as word spread of the grisly discovery made inside of the bag.
That's not a cartel death.
In Los Mochis, police chased down reports of red-stained sacks dumped all over.
As long as your brain and heart don't stop, you not dying like that. So I'm saying, like literally, what do you mean skull face, bro? Like, your face is like a skull. Like, bro, that shit is crazy. Like, that is, bro, that is brutal, my nigga. These niggas are doing fatalities on these niggas, yo. Brutality
Panic
and
surged
shit.
through the city as word spread of the grisly discovery made inside of the bag. In Los Mochis, police chased down reports of red-stained sacks dumped all over the town. Each one revealed another part of a
Literally.
human body, like some sort of sick, twisted treasure hunt. Inside one bag was a torso, in another bag were severed limbs.
Wow.
But the true horror that shocked the city came from a janitor cleaning the front of a city hall. While doing his job, he stumbled across a sports bag, but when he went to pick it up, a soccer ball bounced out of it. As it rolled over, the ball revealed that it was stitched with human skin. A man's face was pulled tight over the leather with its lips sewn shut, and a note beside it read, "Happy New Year, because this will be your last." In early January 2010, a 36-year-old man named Hugo Hernandez had mistakenly crossed into Sinaloa cartel territory, while they were in the midst of one of the bloodiest cartel wars in history against the Juarez. They immediately abducted the man, tied him to a chair, brought out a chainsaw, and well, the rest was history. This is just one of the hundreds of thousands of civilian casualties in this non-stop
Gee,
war.
what's the word? What the
The
fuck
violence
he do?
is so
He
bad
covered
that
his
reporters
face?
and journalists stopped reporting on it because they
Oh, that's
too
what they
were
did.
brutally.
Wow, what
The
the
cameras-
fuck? All because the nigga was at a place, wrong time? Yo. Hey, y'all stay safe when y'all outside, bro.
Begin rolling, and then the footage adjusts. The scene is set on a man bound with his hands and legs tied by extension cords. As the camera focuses more, it becomes clear that the man is most certainly not alive.
Wow.
His face is missing, and so are his hands and eyes. However, in sheer impossibility, the man begins moving violently. The camera slightly pans over to the side, and there it becomes apparent that these cartel members hooked the man up to a substance to pump his adrenaline and keep him wide awake and aware. Because of this, it is impossible for the man to pass out. And that's when it starts.
Wow.
The cartel members pull out a knife and stick a metal pole in the man's mouth in an effort to silence him.
Damn.
What happens next is simply just too horrific to mention on YouTube, so out of respect for this man's life and to protect your mental security, I'll skip over it. All you need to know is that they began playing a game with the man's throat while pumping him with substances to keep him alive. The best thing I can compare this to is if you were to undergo surgery and one of the operating doctors forgot to give you anesthesia, which, by the way, is just a medical treatment that typically makes you unconscious and unaware during painful surgeries. Normally in a case like this, you'd shoot up in extreme pain, but since you're restrained, the agony would just cause you to pass out on the operating table. Now imagine if the doctors were also injecting you with some type of liquid that prevented you from passing out and kept you wide awake.
Wow.
Watch what they were doing to your body in complete horror. That's pretty much what happened, and after the men were done, the video would finally end. But shortly afterward, another video in the same room would surface. In it, you can see the same men playing soccer with the victim's head, kicking it back and forth to each other. in
Mexican
efforts to
niggas,
catch
yo.
them.
Of course they're
What
doing that
makes this
shit.
incident as
What?
horrific as it is, isn't the sheer brutality of their actions. When the men were carrying out this
Niggas said
atrocity,
messy.
it's heavily noted that they would be talking to each other, calm and casually, as if it were another Tuesday morning at their shift.
Yo.
All the meanwhile, a popular 80s hit would play in the background, striking a mind-boggling contrast between their gruesome acts and the fun and enjoyable disco song. The song is called Funky Town by Lips Incorporated, and chances are you've probably already heard this song countless times when you were young. When I was a child, this was a song they played for me at Chuck E. Cheese and at school festivals. And now, my memories of this fun and stupid disco song are tainted
Literally,
by
bruh.
the actions of the wicked.
That shit is crazy.
The warmth, security, and
Let's get
luxuries we have
funky.
today were not built on the
While
morals
playing
of the
soccer with a
evil.
man
They're
head.
built by those who dare to be inspirational instead of evil. They're built by those who sacrifice themselves to protect their country. They're built by good men and women who figured out that love is stronger than wickedness. Be a good person to the world, your neighbors, and most importantly, to yourself. And as usual, don't search any of these videos up. Be safe and have a happy day, lads.
Yeah, bro, I'm good. I'm not searching that shit up at all, bro. Them niggas got that shit, bro. Like, what the fuck? It's why they run the government down there. Yeah, I can tell, bro. I can tell, bro. Like, ain't none of motherfuckers can't do, bro. Them niggas is running shit more than the police, gang. Like, niggas got the police shook. I came up on the vid on accident. That shit was bad. Damn, bro. And I ain't think some shit like that could really scar me. That shit made my stomach twist and turn, nigga. Like, real spill.